As we continue through Meditations Book 5, we are met with the resounding statements regarding the daily struggle between comfort and duty. Reflecting on the challenge of rising each morning with purpose and the importance of staying true to one's role in life. Through these passages, Marcus reminds himself and us that the path of discipline is not always easy, but it is necessary, inviting the reader to consider what drives them forward and how to meet each day with clarity and resolve. When you wake up and feel reluctant to leave your bed, ask yourself, am I not meant to work and fulfill the purpose for which I was born? Was I made merely to lie in comfort or to be active and engaged in the world? Remember, our true calling is to be busy and productive, not to seek only immediate pleasure. Observe how every element in nature, every tree, plant, bird, insect, and creature works in perfect order to sustain the world. Shouldn't you too follow the natural path meant for a man? Are you not meant to act in accordance with your nature? But I need to rest, you might argue, and indeed nature provides for rest, just as it does for eating and drinking. Yet when it comes to taking action, you sometimes exceed your limits only to fall short of your true potential. Strive for balance, acting decisively when required and resting when nature demands it. If you genuinely loved yourself, you would also honor your own nature and the purpose it intends for you. Think of how some people, driven by passion for their work or art, will sacrifice even basic comforts, much like a dedicated mechanic values his craft or a graceful dancer cherishes his art, just as a greedy man treasures his silver or a vain man seeks applause. Those who deeply love what they do can live content with very little. So why should you consider actions that benefit society any less worthy of respect or effort? Always try to realize just how effortlessly you can let go of all those distracting, turbulent thoughts, and in doing so, embrace a state of true peace and calm. Consider yourself capable and worthy to speak or act in line with nature, and don't let criticism or gossip deter you. If what you intend to do is just and honest, never undervalue yourself. Others have their own views and natural tendencies, but don't let them distract you. Instead, follow the path that aligns with both your individual nature and the common good, because in the end they lead to the same goal. I move forward, guided by nature, until my last breath returns to the air that sustained me. My body will fall to the same earth that nourished my parents before me, that fed me and carried me through life. It has given without complaint, whether misused or honored, asking nothing in return. And in the end I return to it, as all things must. Perhaps eloquence is not your strength, but virtue is within your grasp. Let your sincerity be unshakable, your resolve firm. Work hard, shun excess, and seek no praise for pleasures. Do not waste breath on complaints or idle words. Give freely, stand with dignity, and let greatness be found in your character, not your speech. Do you not see how many things you could have done, despite any claim of natural weakness? And yet you still choose to remain bowed down, burdened by your own reluctance. Will you say that your nature forces you to complain, to be servile, to flatter, to accuse one moment and appease the next, to chase empty praise, to be restless and scattered in thought? No, by all the gods, these faults were never beyond your power to cast off. Long ago you could have freed yourself. Only you must accept that some may call you slow or dull. But even in this, do not dwell in self-pity, nor take pleasure in your excuse. Some treat good deeds as debts to be repaid. Others let them go unpaid but still count them. The wise do not keep such accounts at all. Like the vine bearing fruit, the horse finishing its race, or the bee making honey, they do what is natural and move on. They need no applause, nor do they dwell on their virtue. It is simply what they are. Do good without seeking acknowledgement. Some may argue that a rational person should be aware of their own virtue and even desire recognition from others. This argument, though seemingly reasonable, misses the point. True understanding does not hinder action, it refines it. Virtue is its own reward, it needs no witness. If one must pray, let it not be for personal gain, but for the well-being of all. The Athenians understood this, asking for rain upon all their lands, not just their own fields. So too should our desires be expansive, seeking not private fortune but shared prosperity. Life, like medicine, is prescribed. Some receive ease, others hardship, yet all serve a purpose. Just as a doctor assigns treatments for health, fate assigns circumstances for the harmony of the whole. When stones in a wall align perfectly, they do not fall together by accident but by design. So too do events in life, seemingly random, yet part of a single grand order. As the world is composed of countless individual bodies forming a single whole, so too is fate composed of countless individual events woven into a greater design. Even those of little understanding recognize this when they say, "It was his destiny." Just as a physician prescribes treatments to a patient, so does fate assign trials to individuals. These may seem harsh, just as medicine may be bitter, yet we accept them for the sake of healing. Likewise, accept all that happens, no matter how unpleasant, as part of the greater harmony, contributing to the well-being of the whole and the unfolding of divine order. Whatever happens must serve the good of the whole, for nothing comes into existence that does not fit within the order of the universe. Just as every natural process acts in harmony with its own domain, so too must every event be part of a greater design. You should therefore accept what happens for two reasons. First, because it was meant specifically for you, having been woven into your life from the beginning by the chain of cause and effect. And second, because the unity and well-being of the whole depend on it. The universe remains complete only when every part functions as intended. To resist what happens is to sever a piece of this order, an act as disruptive as removing a limb from the body or breaking the links of a great chain. Do not be discouraged or lose hope if you struggle to live by your principles at all times. When you falter, return to them without frustration. The distractions of life and the weaknesses of human nature are unavoidable. Accept them without resentment. Instead, cultivate a love for the life of wisdom, for it is what you must always return to. But when you do not treat philosophy as a duty or a burden, like a child begrudgingly returning to a teacher after play. Instead, embrace it as one welcomes a remedy for an ailment, with relief, not reluctance. Let reason be your refuge, not a performance. Philosophy asks nothing of you except what your own nature already demands. Would you truly desire anything that goes against your nature? Consider what is more natural, to live in harmony with reason or to be ruled by fleeting pleasures. Pleasure often seems natural, yet it has led many to ruin. Instead, reflect on whether courage, true freedom, simplicity, balance, and integrity are not the most natural states of all. And what could be more fitting and fulfilling than wisdom itself, moving through life with clarity without misstep or confusion? The true nature of things is so obscured that even great philosophers have struggled to grasp it. The Stoics, though they do not deem it impossible, acknowledge that understanding the world comes only with great difficulty. No one is infallible in their conclusions. Consider then the fleeting and unworthy nature of worldly possessions, things that can just as easily belong to the corrupt and immoral as to the virtuous. Look also at human nature itself. How difficult it is to tolerate even those we love, let alone ourselves. Everything is in a state of constant change, substance, time, and movement. So what can we truly hold on to? What is worthy of our devotion? It is hard to say, for so much in life is contradictory and fleeting. Find peace in knowing that your eventual passing is natural, and do not be troubled by its delay. Instead, take comfort in two truths. First, that all things unfold according to the order of the universe, and second, that you alone have control over your inner self. No one can force you to act against your own guiding spirit. At every moment, ask yourself these things. How am I using my soul? What is my mind occupied with right now? Do I act with the reason of a wise person, or have I slipped into the impulses of a child, the recklessness of youth, the weakness of indulgence, or the cruelty of a tyrant? Am I guided by wisdom, or have I let my nature descend into something less? You can recognize what is truly good by how people react to it. When virtues like wisdom, self-control, justice, and courage are named, a thoughtful person needs no further explanation. These alone define goodness. But when common people speak of wealth, pleasure, or status as good, they expect more. Their idea of goodness is endless and unsatisfied. Even in casual speech, people instinctively know the difference between fleeting desires and what is truly valuable. Why is it that when we call virtues like wisdom and justice good, no one objects? But when wealth, pleasure, or status are praised, people treat it as light-hearted talk, not serious truth. Reflect further. The very same things the crowd applauds on stage, mocking the rich for having everything, yet lacking even a private place to relieve themselves, are the things many still chase, as if they were the highest goods. Should we not reconsider what truly deserves our respect? Everything I am is either form or matter. Neither can be destroyed into nothing. I did not come from nothing, nor will I vanish into it. My body and essence will change, becoming part of the whole once more, just as those before me changed and those before them, stretching endlessly backward. Through this cycle of transformation I exist, as did my ancestors, in an unbroken chain of being. Though the universe may have its own appointed limits, within it all things remain in constant exchange. Reason and rational thought are self-sufficient, operating by their own nature. They initiate action from within, moving toward whatever is possible and attainable, whether it aligns with their original intent or not. This movement follows a direct path, concerned only with what can truly be done. Nothing should be considered essential to a person unless it belongs to them by virtue of being human. Outcomes and external successes are not what define a person. Such things are not part of human nature itself. The fulfillment of external goals is not the true purpose of a person's nature. If the highest good were simply the completion of intended actions, then human virtue would be reduced to mere outcomes. As for worldly possessions and status, If these were essential to a person's nature, then it would be unnatural to reject them. But we see the opposite. Those who rise above wealth and power or endure their loss with dignity are regarded as stronger and better individuals. True worth, then, does not depend on what one has, but on what one can do without. Your mind will take the shape of your habitual thoughts. Just as fabric absorbs dye, the soul is colored by its dominant impressions. Therefore, immerse it in thoughts that cultivate strength and wisdom. No matter where you find yourself, you have the power to live well. Whether in hardship or prosperity, happiness depends on the state of your mind, not your surroundings. Likewise, every being is naturally drawn toward its purpose. Seek yours with the same certainty. Everything is drawn toward its natural purpose, and in fulfilling that purpose, it finds its true benefit. For rational beings, that purpose is society. Our well-being is tied to cooperation and mutual support. This has long been understood. Can it be doubted that what is lesser serves what is greater, that the best things exist for each other? Among all things, those with souls are superior to the lifeless, and among them, those with reason hold the highest place. Therefore, it is in our nature to live harmoniously with one another. To long for the impossible is foolishness. It is impossible for the wicked not to act according to their nature. Nothing happens to a person that is not already a part of the natural order. What befalls one has befallen others as well. But consider this. If ignorance or the need for praise can make someone endure hardships without distress, is it not shameful if true wisdom is less effective in achieving peace of mind? External events have no power over the soul. They cannot enter it, nor do they determine its state. The soul is moved only by its own judgments, shaped by the beliefs it chooses to accept. Human beings are closest to us, and it is our duty to help them and tolerate their faults. Yet if someone opposes what is right, they become no different from the wind, the sun, or a wild animal, an indifferent force of nature. Such obstacles may delay actions, but they cannot hinder the mind or its resolve. The mind has the power to transform obstructions into opportunities, adapting with ease. What once seemed to block the path now becomes part of the way forward, as every obstacle can be repurposed into a tool for progress. Respect what is highest and most powerful in the universe, the force that directs and orders all things. Likewise, within yourself, honor that which is greatest, your rational mind, which mirrors the order of the universe. It is this inner power that governs your life and transforms all experiences into something meaningful. If an event does not harm the whole community, then it does not truly harm the individual. Keep this in mind whenever you feel wronged. If the larger order remains intact, why take personal offense? Instead, reflect on where the supposed wrongdoer has erred. Also, remind yourself how fleeting everything is. Both people and events pass like a river in constant motion. Nothing remains fixed. Everything changes, and even the causes behind actions shift endlessly. Reflect on the boundless time that has passed and the infinite expanse of what is yet to come. Everything dissolves in the vast cycles of existence. Is it not foolish to let pride, worry, or grief consume you over matters that are fleeting? Look at the universe. You are but a small fragment of an unfathomable whole. Your time is a mere moment in an endless stretch of ages. As for those who wrong you, Their actions are their own. They control their choices just as you control yours. Do what aligns with your nature and let others answer for themselves. Do not allow the ruling part of your soul to be swayed by bodily pain or pleasure. Keep it separate from such sensations, letting them remain within their rightful place in the body. If they inevitably reach the mind, do not resist feeling itself. It is natural. However, do not let your understanding attach labels of good or bad to these sensations. Pain and pleasure belong to the body, but the mind determines their significance. If you withhold judgment, all remains in balance. To live in harmony with the divine is to cultivate a soul that remains content with whatever life provides and carries out its duties with integrity. One who accepts their fate without complaint and acts in accordance with the guiding reason within, bestowed upon them by nature, lives as one with the higher order. Do not be angered by another's natural flaws, whether it be their breath or body odor. Such things arise from their nature, not from intent. You might think, but they have reason and should know they are unpleasant to others. And yet you too have reason, so use it. Instead of frustration, engage with them rationally. If they listen, the problem is solved without resentment. If not, your anger remains unnecessary. You do not need isolation to live as you wish. If you believe that peace exists only in retreat, remember that the same mindset can be upheld anywhere. If external circumstances make it impossible to live rightly, you may depart from life, but without resentment, just as one would leave a smoke-filled room. Until then, remain steadfast in your principles, allowing no person or situation to deter you from living as reason and duty require. The rational force that governs the universe is inherently social, designed for the harmony of all. It has arranged the inferior in service of the superior, weaving together what is best into a cohesive unity. Look how it has organized everything according to its value, ensuring that those of highest standing work together in agreement for the common good. How have you treated those around you toward the gods, your parents, siblings, spouse, children, mentors, friends, and servants? Have you, by word or action, wronged any of them? Reflect on the many challenges you've already faced and how you've endured, realizing your life's journey is nearly complete. How many true and noble things have you recognized? How many fleeting pleasures and pains have you risen above with indifference? How many enduring values have you disregarded? And how many unreasonable individuals have you treated with kindness and wisdom? Why should those who lack wisdom and knowledge disturb the wise and prudent? Who are the wise? They are those who understand both the origin and the conclusion of things, possessing true insight into the rational force that flows through all things, remaining unchanged throughout time, guiding the universe in its cycles. Soon enough, you will be nothing more than ashes or bones, perhaps a name, though more likely not even that. And what is a name but a fleeting sound, quickly fading away? The things we value most in life, our possessions, achievements, and reputations, are ultimately shallow and fleeting. Even the most serious of our concerns, if examined closely, are little more than fleeting distractions, like children laughing and crying or puppies playfully fighting. As for true virtues like faith, modesty, justice, and truth, they have long since left the earth and returned to a higher realm. If everything in the physical world is so unstable, our senses unreliable, and our souls just fleeting expressions of blood, what is it that keeps you here? Is it for life's temporary pleasures or a peaceful transition to the next? Whatever comes, what will satisfy you? Nothing but honoring and praising the gods, helping others, being patient with them and refraining from harming them. As for the things that concern your body or your life, remember, they are neither yours nor within your control. You will always succeed if you choose the right path, following a true method in both your thoughts and actions. This is a shared trait of all souls, whether divine or human. First, nothing can obstruct their true purpose. Second, true happiness comes from a commitment to righteousness. From this pursuit, all desires are fulfilled. If my actions are not wicked, and they do not harm the public, why should I worry? The public's concerns are often based on shallow opinion and common beliefs, and I must help where I can, but only in worldly matters. However, do not believe these things truly matter. They are not of lasting significance. Others care for such things, but should I be a fool as well? I once got caught up in such things, but I have since learned better. Let death come when and where it may. I can still be a fortunate person. True happiness is not about when or how life ends, but about what we cultivate during it. A happy life is one where we nurture good inclinations, desires, and actions.